welcome you back to 757 Sports Talk. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel with CoVA Sports TV and interact with us wherever you may be tuning in through all of our friends on social media, IG, Twitter, or X as they now call it, Facebook, and of course, now also available on the television side through our friends at Cox Communications and YourView. We have a special guest with us. He is a former National Football League defensive back with a number of different teams. It all started for him, though, in the 757 at Menchville High School in Newport News, where he starred in football, basketball, and track before taking his talents to Penn State University. 3-year starter, all Big Ten as a junior, then played for Arizona. Yeah, I'm rocking the birds there, the Cardinals. Washington, St. Louis, Kansas City, Indianapolis. Hope I'm not forgetting anybody else as we say hello to the founder of Glory Days 4-on-4 Incorporated. You say, what is that? Well, he's here to tell you about all that and so much more. They've got their big day of football coming June 21st. David Macklin. How you been, my friend?
I've been excellent. Thank you for your time, Matt. Man, I appreciate you having me on, and excited for a new year, our third annual 4-on-4 flag football tournament. We do have a social coming up here this Tuesday, and I appreciate you. I appreciate what you do for the 757 and all the different sports that you are part of and announce, and really keep our 757 and Tidewater area relevant. So I appreciate you.
Well, thank you for that. No, actually, we also enjoy you interacted. You jumped on the show one of the Saturdays way back when Penn State was getting ready for their big matchup with Notre Dame with Coach Young and me. But let's talk about this first before we reminisce about your great days at Menchville and where the Nittany Lions are now in the NFL in general. This Glory Days third annual Summer in Virginia 4-on-4 flag football tournament. It's coming to the McReynolds Athletic Complex. It's scrolling across our ticker now in Yorktown, Virginia. There's various age divisions and groups and registrations. Just tell us about the concept and how it came about, because it's the third annual, which means it's getting bigger and better, it sounds like, from year one and year two.
Yeah. You know, me, as you had stated, you know, playing in the league, and obviously I'll go through that lineup. Was drafted in Indy. Was there 4 years, Arizona 3, Washington, and then KC. But my whole career, obviously through college and playing basketball and football and high school and 1 year in college, has just been all about competing. At the end of the day, you know, the X's and O's are the X's and O's, obviously understanding your assignment, alignment, and then, you know, executing. But I found a niche in what we like to do with the 4-on-4 styles. It's separate from the 7-on-7. 707, I feel like is great for implementation. Obviously, office coordinators getting dialed in on the new season and getting kids acclimated. But you know, I found a space to where kids weren't getting as much reps. They weren't getting as many reps. They weren't getting as much competition moments. So I saw that within 4-on-4. The coaches love it. The kids love it the most because they get a little bit more freedom. They get to formulate their own teams. Parents can formulate a team, get with their best friends. It doesn't necessarily need to be a coach. From 7U all the way up to adults. We've had tournaments to where we had 22 women teams, 39 men teams. So the adult side is huge. Our high school level is the most competitive, I feel like, because those kids are athletic. Obviously got the youth. And then obviously our youth division, obviously 7U up to 13U. It's just phenomenal, you know, the kids having the adults to look up to. So 4-on-4 to me is very dear to my heart. The field's a 64 by 25, 50-yard field plan, and obviously 25-yard width. So it is shrunk down, but it gives the specialists obviously more opportunities to see the ball, make plays on the ball, and get quarterbacks to throw the ball more. So it just makes sense to me. And then lastly, our teams are from 5 to 7 player teams. So you're not getting the 20 team, 707 team to where you don't know who's going to play. All of the players are going to play, and they leave tired. So that's our goal, is for you to come and get your money's worth, obviously get that work in, and then leave away to where, you know, you feel like you've impacted the community and what we do. There is always a give back to what we do, whether it's an athletic program, organization that we've given back to. So over the past 3 years, we've given over $10,000 to various organizations, and that's our passion. That's what we want to do, and obviously take away from our tournaments and obviously build a legacy to where we can continue to impact young people and also adults living healthy lifestyles through competitive sports. That's our vision and our mission here at Glory Days.
That's so awesome. And again, the folks that want to get involved with this, they can find out more details and also register on glorydays4on4.org. That's glorydays4on4.org. So we'll put it back up on the screen. You can see that QR code as well. The deadline to register is June the 16th, as we talk with former NFL defensive back and Penn State standout of Menchville High School in Newport News, David Macklin, here on 757 Sports Talk. David, it's funny that the 4-on-4 concept is unique because when you think of football now that's not the traditional 11-on-11 with the pros, the colleges, the high schools, and so on and so forth, you think of 7-on-7, which is so in vogue. But also we've seen in basketball, 3-on-3s become very popular. They have those big tournaments during the summer. So this is sort of a new type of thing. What do you hope the fans, the viewers take away from this, but also the participants, because it is unique and it is something that has some growth to it and it has its own little niche, if you will?
Yeah. We're doing a clinic coming up on Tuesday, giving the coaches and the youth league coaches and obviously commissioners understanding of what I feel about 4-on-4 and why I formulated 4-on-4. You mentioned the 3-on-3, hoop it up, and I played 3-on-3 back in the day. It's still a team concept. Obviously, the 4-on-4, everything is still a team concept. But I feel like, obviously, like I said, it's playing a defensive back corner in the NFL. From the offensive side, yes, it's still a team's aspect on the 4-on-4 side. But I feel like on the defensive side, as a corner, you get a chance, and a defensive end safety, you get a chance to work on your craft a little bit more, get dialed in on the one-on-one situations. Honestly, playing 11-on-11, when I, played in the league, you still have to take care of your assignment. Obviously, understanding where your other teammates are. But when you're out there on the island and you're playing one-on-one, those are the moments that we really like to see corners and defensive back safeties get better, receivers get better, because it is an island out there. And the 4-on-4 aspect gives them a little bit more time, gives them a little bit more chance to pay attention to the details, kind of block out everything else. The ball is coming. It's coming to you. It's either going to one side or the other. The hiker is eligible, so that's a chance for maybe a running back and linebacker to get some one-on-one work too as well. But that ball's coming out quick, and the percentages are more for the ball to be coming to you. So that it's for those corners and those safeties to be that much more in detail. 7-on-7, you kind of don't know where the ball is going to go, whenever it's going to go. You can get. I've seen to where kids are out there 30 minutes and the ball hasn't been thrown to them once. That's not going to happen on 4-on-4. Everybody's going to get that work. That's what I'm all about. And then lastly, coming through coaches like Coach Dungy and other coaches that I've had, when we had one-on-one sessions in practice, those are the times that you get better. Those are the times the coaches are evaluating. So we need to give kids and we need to give participants that much more time to get better. Those are the times that obviously that translation over to the actual football field and the football game. So, 4-on-4 for me is an opportunity to simulate those one-on-ones, to get more competing moments, to get kids and to understand how to play the ball, to get receivers more catches, get quarterbacks and receivers on the same page. So we're going to talk about that obviously at our clinic and try to, get coaches to buy in. We're not trying to take away from 7-on-7. I know it has its place, but at the same time, I see a lot of coaches at these 7-on-7 events. They're going to need to have 3 or 4 teams on these 7-on-7 events, 5, 6 teams for all of their kids to get looks, and that's not possible. It's possible here at Glory Days. A coach can bring out his whole 1-4 team and have at least 5 or 6 teams, 4-on-4 teams, and all of them are going to get work. So we have our advantages, and we just, hopefully we'll get more and more participation.
It's pretty neat, and definitely those technical aspects do get honed in on. I want to take you back to your days at Menchville. Give me a favorite memory or moment that sticks out. And I know you see it now. You look at these kids and you go, my goodness, I wish I came around in 2025 with NIL and all the things that are out there for student athletes. And but I know there was some fun battles in the Peninsula District in the 1990s, huh?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's so many, basketball and football. Ronald Curry, Michael Vick, obviously playing against those guys. Allen Iverson, basketball. There's so many games we played in football. I see these kids now. They'll take maybe 1 or 2 clips and blow it up, man. We had each of those players I named. We all had so many clips, man. We could have had a lot of highlights. But, I mean, I would say football-wise, maybe us beating – talked about this on Vic's podcast that we were just on a couple of weeks ago. When we played Hampton, we beat them my sophomore year. Was able to make a play at the end of the game that helped seal the game. And, I was playing varsity there at Menchville. But, it was times like that, obviously, my football career. And obviously, junior, senior year, my stats started growing on the defense and offensive side, running the ball. Just so many games, so many battles. talking about me scoring 7 touchdowns in one game against Gloucester. That was fun. I hadn't did that. I scored multiple touchdowns in other games, but never maybe 7. I think it was 7, 8, one of them. But high school in general, man, just really got me prepared. Running track meets, just going against guys. Remember going against Green Run with Plexico and them. They had a 4x1 team that was they had a bunch of studs that went off to college and ran track. We came maybe like 4th, but we had third or 4th or 2nd, one of them. We had fast guys on our team that ran track all year round too. So it's when you start talking about memories, man, it can go from football, it can go from basketball, it can go from track, man. It just our area, man, and that's why I just really encourage young people to just play, find out what you like, find out what you like. My son is playing baseball right now. I never played baseball, so he's 8 and he's loving it, and I'm getting a chance to understand and learn baseball through him because I never understood baseball. So he's natural, and we can be up here for an hour talking about high school highlights, man. It's just it's unfair. That's an unfair question.
No, I hear you, and I appreciate you say that, because baseball's got its strategy to it too, just like football and other sports. Basketball, you pitch hit here, you sack bunt there, those type of things, lefty on lefty, those type of. But you brought up the Menchville thing, and it made me think of beating Hampton in 1993. It hadn't happened again until just a few years ago in 2022. Then they beat them back to back because it's so hard to beat the Crabbers. How about your alma mater, Penn State, and you played for two of the all-time great coaches, Tony Dungy, who you referenced, and also the late great Joe Paterno. But my goodness, came very, very close to the championship game last year, lost to Notre Dame, but James Franklin's got them pointed upwards, and it feels like they're starting to get their footprint back in the 757 NVA on the recruiting front too.
Yeah. Well, when Joe was coming through, man, those guys grabbed a lot of guys as well. I just got off the phone with Mike Robinson. We were talking about the tournament coming up. Mike's doing an excellent job in Richmond with his youth league as well. He obviously had a great career at Penn State and won a Super Bowl in the NFL. But, I go back to Darren Perry. Darren went and came and watched one of my basketball games at Menchville when we beat Granby, and just right there and then just seeing somebody who was successful at Penn State, and obviously myself, James Boyd, as you know, and the list goes on of guys who've come through Virginia that went on to Penn State and played, Anthony King, and guys that I played with. Just so much pedigree, man. I always had this conversation. You talk about Ronald Curry and Plex, and if we could keep all of our athletes and everybody could have gone to UVA, man. I mean, how much, you got Ronnie Barber, Tiki that all went to Virginia, but you got so many athletes, man, that come out of the 757 and make an impact all over the country. But hats off to James Franklin and those guys for what they're doing. The Virginia side has something to say. The 757 has something to say. Obviously, Northern Virginia. When you play in the league, you play in college, you get those utters about Florida. And I'm here in Atlanta right now, Georgia, Texas. I lived in California as well. Lived in Arizona. Arizona has they have a good. This still creating their identity, obviously on the football side. But, yeah, man, I mean, from the kid that just got drafted this year, the tight end from Penn State, I mean, they're doing an extra job. I know they've come up to Virginia, down from Pennsylvania to Virginia to ODU a couple of times and done a couple of 1-days. But I think that's just the things you have to do now. I mean, there's enough talent on the East Coast. I'm not sure how much James and them are going on the West Coast to try to find talent, but they're heading in the right direction. And as far as the last year, I was so proud to see those guys compete last year the way that they did. Obviously, going out to California, going to USC, and winning those games out there. It's going to be a tough division throughout the years. I think it's going to, it's moving towards kind of a layout of the NFL where everybody's playing everywhere, and everybody is recruiting on different sides of the coast. And I think now it's just, as you stated, it's a recruiting battle. It's all about that. Obviously, the coaching matters as well, but the recruiting is definitely going to be evaluated, and it's going to be paid attention to very closely. And then lastly, the NIL situation, that's on a whole nother level. That's kind of out of my pay range of trying to understand how that all kind of works out. But I just hope that our young people can get an understanding of competing, understanding that adversity, understanding that, even though you might be on the depth chart, on the second on the depth chart, third on the depth chart, that you can work your way up. There's integrity in that. There's humility in that. There's a way that you can, obviously sharpen your iron, sharpen your craft, learning under folks, working at it, getting better, not necessarily bailing out and say, hey, it's a better situation over here. You don't know how that situation may pan out. I feel for these kids now because, they leave and they get to somewhere and the other coach leaves that brought them there. So now you have to deal with, a system to where a coach, you might want to go to another school and the coach is just like, well, you're hopping all over the place. Yes, it may work out for some certain people. It may work out in people's favor to go somewhere else and they drafting into the league. But that's how many stories is that out of hundreds and hundreds of kids that are transferring back and forth. So I just hope that NCAA can get a hold of this thing to where kids can get more rewarded once they declare to the next level, so to say, or maybe junior, senior year. I just think for kids at a young age, freshman year, sophomore year, for them to be hopping all around, I just feel like it's doing themselves a disservice, and obviously the coaches and the universities, and it's just on another level. With when you start talking monetary wise, it's a whole different discussion.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some good ways to improve the sport with some guidelines and regulations. They've been not, changed up entirely because it's already that toothpaste is out of the tube, if you will. But you brought up an interesting, good point, and I think it's what we'll finish up with here, David, that, if you all went to one school, it would have been amazing. But I think that's the one thing that the brotherhood in the 757, that people like yourself that have walked in big shoes, and we see so many different pro athletes that come back and give back. It's important to represent its area on a local, statewide, and even bigger scale, isn't it?
Absolutely, and I think we all take a pride in that. Coming from the 757, keeping those relationships over the year. But one thing about it that I can say, it has taught us how to work and how to grind, and we've built a certain pedigree in the 757 that, not only stays here in Virginia. Well, in Virginia, I'm in Georgia right now, but moves all around, whether it's nationally or internationally. And it's good to have that camaraderie to where we can all see each other in another area, another state, another country, whatever, and just say, hey, man, we come from somewhere special. And we were able to build something special. We were able to build off the backs of giants like Lonzo Mourning and Ralph Sampson and guys, DJ Dozier, guys who came before us, that were able to set, a tone. So you got people like Boo Williams and God rest his soul, Coach Tommy Raymond, other coaches around the area. My father, Mike Smith over at Hampton, that built a legacy. You got Blunt now that's at Phoebus, that's building a legacy. Coaches, Coach Kozlowski. I mean, we can go down the list. Coach Breyer over at Hampton. My high school coach, Coach Greg Henderson, Pop Pitts, Ben Moore, Coach Katufis. I mean, you want to start naming names. You got Coach Dwight Robinson over at Lansdowne, to Cadillac. I mean, you got so many coaches, so many people that have impacted young people and impacted lives of great athletes all over the country that, we can sit here for hours and talk about. So it's something to be proud of. And it's up to us as former athletes, current athletes, to carry the torch. And, one way that I like doing that and what I like to stay true to is competing. Whether you're competing on the field, whether you're competing in business, whether you're competing in any kind of industry that you're in. Obviously, media is very competitive. That's what we do at Glory Days. And we want to do that and allow people to have fun. But we also want to do it with a purpose. We also want to do it to where not only our kids competing, not only our kids competing, but that we're able to have a give back. And then obviously from that give back, a kid and a coach can say, hey, that kid got better. That kid got better today. So that's all you can hope for.
That's awesome. Well, hey, go check it out. Coming up on June the 21st at the McReynolds Athletic Complex. You don't want to miss it. Yorktown, Virginia, the Glory Days, third annual Summer Days in Virginia 4-on-4 flag football tournament. They've got the social coming up for the coaches. We'll show it back on the screen again here. Get that QR code out, get the phone, and voila, you're right there with all the info in front of your fingertips. $250 per team. Should be a fun atmosphere and a great time out there. And again, if you want to find out more, glorydays4on4.org is the website, and you can get some in touch, in close personal tutoring from the former NFL DB who once took a 60-yard pick to the house for the Arizona Cardinals, played for the Colts and so many other teams, also stand out at Penn State after his days at Menchville High School in Newport News, David Macklin. Thank you so much, my friend. Hey, who was the guy you victimized for that 60-yard pick six? Do you remember? Back when, was it 2005?
Yeah, I had a couple of them. I think I don't know. That was in Tennessee. I forgot who that was. I should know that. I should know that. But,
not the late McNair, though. It wasn't Steve McNair. He was
we beat them. We beat them a few times.
Okay.
But yeah, I wanted to tell the people out there.
Sure. You
can register online, like Matt was saying, www.glorydays4on4.org. That's www.glorydays4on4.org. We will have free merch there at our social Tuesday from 5:45 to 7:45 at Park Lane Tavern there in Hampton, Virginia. And I wanted to tell parents out there, any parent can register a team, whether it's 5 to 7 players. It needs to be 5 to 7 players. We don't need, it doesn't necessarily have to be coaches. 7U up to adults, high school level. You can go online and check it out. And then lastly, come out and be ready to have some fun. We're looking for more women, more girl teams to come out. We want to see our women teams come out there and have a good time. The girls are doing a great job with flags, so we're encouraging young people to come out, girls and boys, and have a good time.
Should be an outstanding one there for the Glory Days, 30 annual Summer Days in Virginia 4-on-4 flag football tournament. Again, the website to find out more details on how to register, glorydays4on4.org. Thank you so much, my friend. I'm sure we'll be in touch, and have a good one.
Absolutely, Matt. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.
You got it. That is the one and only David Macklin, former NFL defensive back and standout for the Penn State Nittany Lions out of Menchville High in Newport News, Virginia, here with us on 757 Sports Talk. We've got more coming your way. Don't touch that dial. You're watching CoVA Sports TV.